Welcome on board our brand new DUFOUR 382 Grand Large. This is a world premiere. We are in La Rochelle, and this is the first time we show the brand new 382. What are the key features of this latest product that we developed with DUFOUR? Well, let's start with this first platform. It is as wide as the 40-42 feet wide and not as the 38 in the market. So one of the first things we wanted to fully exploit was the idea to give the maximum space on the outside to have all the enjoyable time they can have on a platform like this one. So an easy access to the water is guaranteed with a integrated ladder, and again the width, which is as wide as the transom almost. We talk about transom, so I just want to introduce this is the 27th boat that we are developing with Umberto Felci, so it is already a continuous cooperation with a talented naval architect who has been very successful over the past 20 years, not only in the design of DUFOUR yachts, but also in racing yachts. And this is where most of the latest development of the hull shape and appendages and sail plan are coming from. So really DUFOUR is trying to integrate the performance from the race boats and to put them into the latest Grand Large to guarantee a faster and better performing cruiser boat, because we want to make sure that our owners fully enjoy the time and the sailing pleasure. So going back to the features, compared to the previous one, which was a very successful model, the 380, we increased the space for the steering area. So the enhancement has 10 centimeter more in terms of space around the backstay. We added, they're not visible in this version, but they will be seen probably in Paris, they will be for sure. We have also extra seats which are foldable, so they can be lifted up and create the same width, or put it down when they're in use. A fixed and integrated cockpit table where we can have the additional GPS, or still, like in the other model of the DUFOUR range, you can see that we have the possibility of customizing the end part of the coamings with the instruments that we want, or that the owner wants, sorry. So tree data, GPS, or any other sort of instruments like the bow thruster control, they can be all added and put it in place. Another thing that is clearly visible from a first impression is the length of the cockpit seats. So it's longer than the previous boats, and the width. So really, all the cockpit, it's a sort of convivial area that we have designed in order to maximize its level of comfort. In this version of the boat, you can see two winches, which are optional, because again, the idea of the latest DUFOUR is to have a sailing effortless approach. What does it mean? It means that we want to guarantee the maximum performance with the minimum effort. It means that I am the owner and I should be able to sail the boat on my own without the need of extra people on board. So if I want a bit more performance, like in this case, I can have the extra winch. Otherwise, I can simply sail the boat by my own, only with the 2 pit winches. How? We can see going in the front, because in this boat we have integrated, like on the 310 and the 560 for example, the self-tucking jib. So you see an integrated recessed area dedicated for this part. Recessed because we maximize the use of the jib, so we have a bigger sail area, and at the same time it is self-tucking, so it's really an effortless approach. It's only by the pressure that is going from one side to the other. So I will not do anything apart from pulling the sail out. This is really fantastic, and it will change the world of sailing. The second thing that we can see on this boat is that we already integrated the flat deck furling system. The flat deck furling system allows to lower down the sail area, so we have a better performance. This is coming from Umberto's advisors of the race boats, and we increase the sail area. So even in this case, we want to make sure that the boat with a simple self-tack in Genoa has the maximum sail area and has nothing to lose against the possibility of having the side rails. Side rails which are integrated and visible, and they can go up to 110% Genoa, which can give an extra sail area for those who really want more and more performance. But again, the sail plan has really been designed to be fully at the optimum performance with the tall mast and with the self-tack in Genoa. Another characteristic, which is a continuity of the style of our Grand Large range, is the deck shape, as we called arpège, because the arpège is a milestone of the DUFOUR range, was developed with a double volume concept in the design of the coach roof, and so we wanted to reinterpret that idea into, let's say, a more modern but still the same signature of the most successful model ever made by DUFOUR. So this allows us to have a wide fixed front edges that brings incredible amount of natural lights down below. Same as in other models, you can see that my belt is at the height of the boom. This is coming still from the Solo Sailor sail plan design for two things. It allows us to have really the maximum accessibility to the mainsail. So when I pack the main, I'm here and I'm at the right height, so I can really do it without having to climb on the mast. And secondly, I still, if I draw a line, an imaginary line from the bottom of the boom up to here, I'm still increasing the sail area of the mainsail. So we are maximizing the performance, but at the same time we are simplifying the way of using the sail area. Going back, we see a very wide mainsheet track. What does it mean, a wide mainsheet track? That you can really have the full control of the mainsail shape in any condition and in any reefing condition as well, because you can really control the mainsail, especially when it's very windy, without losing the efficiency of the sail. But now let's go down below, where really the maximum innovation and flexibility has been introduced in the development of this boat, because we're going to see one model, but in reality we have been developing 6 different boats. So it's 6 in 1. Come with me. So now we are inside one of the 6 possible layouts of the 382. When we start developing this boat, this is the real heart of the market, so it's the ideal size of the boat for any sort of customer. But at the same time, because it's the ideal size and the biggest and most wanted size, it's also the most difficult to design, because you have to take some decision that force you to discharge version that usually other people like. So the effort of DUFOUR was the opposite, was to design any possible version that any customer could choose for its own use. So the one we see here, it's we called the challenge to the 40 plus feet. It's a 3 cabin, 2 heads. It's a challenge because it's a 38 feet boat that is really challenging bigger boats, because it allows to have 2 toilets for such a small boat that is usually the size of a 41, 42 feet yacht. On the same size, on the same concept, we have developed also the idea of having only one toilet, which is the standard one, and on the other side we can have a chart table as it is here, but sitting in the front, so classical, and the possibility of having an oilskin locker in the back and an additional wine cooler, so as an option. So really having all the feature of bigger boats. But still this is not enough, because as you can see we have a longitudinal galley with an 180 liters fridge with 2 drawers, so really the maximum simplicity in order to storage and to better define the cooling of these 2 volumes. And at the same time we can have an alternative layout, which is a more traditional with the L-shape galley, which is in place of the second head. So as I said, really any customer can choose the layout and the type of use that he wants to do with the boat. So the other flexible solution that we wanted to integrate in the saloon is the table. Yeah, because discussing with our customer, we realized that most of the time you don't need the full length of the table when you are under navigation. It's quite the opposite. You need to have an easy access to the table and then only 2 or 3 seats. So this is why we designed this table, and then which is still 1 meter, so it's wide enough to have a comfortable use of the space, and at the same time you can have a very easy and independent access from both sides, and you can simply extend it in 1 second and it becomes 1.4 meter long. So this is changing completely the length and the use of the table. And then we have here the full use for maximum 8 people. So really in a 38 feet you can have, from the ideal couple solution where you can have your intimity and the perfect use of the space, up to 8 people, so the fully you can invite all your guests. Okay, so we are here in the galley. As we said, we have all the space we want with dampers, lockers, and behind the working plane we have another lowered surface where we can put extra stuff like pasta or oil bottles or anything, and the carry-on top can be lifted and can be used as a protection also for the cooking. In the version of the traditional galley, all this area becomes the sofa with a double opening table, and the galley is in place of the second head, and the chart table is facing aft, where literally we could say here, so with the fitted to the bulkhead, to the head bulkhead. From the dining position we slide 1 more position the seat aft, and we simply do this, and we have an extended sofa with a chaise longue. So here I can really have a 2.6 meter sofa where everyone can really enjoy, relax, and this is the size of a sofa of a 50 feet boat and not of a 38. So this is really, when we said we wanted to fully exploit the modularity of this boat, this is really where we went to the maximum extent of that. Then you can see, without my explanation, that another thing that we tried to achieve was the sense of space. So we added a double door instead of the single bulkhead, because otherwise the boat usually they look like that, and to maximize the sense of space and to give really a a volume that it's typical of bigger boats, and that can allow you to live inside without the feel of being constrained. This is thanks to this double door, and of course thanks to the top fixed hatches that gives lots of natural light to the inside. Last but not least, we have, unfortunately, only to imagine it, because yes, we can see the front cabin, which is fixed standard and it's very wide. Last but not least is the possibility of having only two cabins. In the two cabin version, you can still have either the longitudinal galley as we have here, or the traditional one. When we talk about two cabin version, the toilet is modified. We have an additional bulkhead which is closing this area, and all the access to the aft cabin here, it becomes a great shower. So this is really a super comfortable area. This part is closed, and the locker, it's fully exploitable up to the bottom. Going back to, let's say, imagining the single cabin version, in the cabin, which is this one, we are going to have, we will exploit the beam of the boat left, so we can both sleep longitudinally for 2 meters or transversally for 2 meters. This is made in order to allow also, for example, American customer to have that type of use, because they don't sleep longitudinally in the aft cabins. So we almost finished our visit of the 382. What we can say about it? Simple, enjoyable, under performance, and especially designed to suit any of the customer needs. 6 different layouts inside in order to have any possible layout, from the galley to the cabins to the toilets, that any customer can choose. So this is really a flexible innovator, as we call it, and has already been heavily appreciated by the first couple of days of the show, and we hope you're gonna like it as well. Thank you.